Hello everyone, welcome to this webinar where I'm going to be teaching you how you can earn $300 plus every month as a virtual assistant working for international clients. I'm going to be cramming up a whole lot of things in the next 45 minutes because I don't want this webinar, this training to be too long. But I'm going to be dishing out a lot of valuable information. So if possible, get a pen, get a jotter so that you can take down some salient points that I'm going to be talking about as we proceed in this class. Like I said, 45 minutes is my target, and I'll do all my best to put everything into those 45 minutes. All right, so who am I? My name is Chinyere Nwachukwu, and I am the founder of Reza Africa, Remanda Skill Academy Africa, where we teach digital skills to people who are aspiring to offer these services to various clients across the world. Okay, so you can check out my profile on Instagram and on Facebook. This webinar is not about me, it's about you. So let's get into the meat of the matter. First thing, who is a virtual assistant and what do they do? Now, please, as I speak, you can also look at the slides. I'm going to be talking and saying things that are not necessarily on the slides, okay? So a virtual assistant, I'm going to try to break this down. A virtual assistant is someone who helps another person to do something from a virtual or a remote location. So let's break down that term, virtual and then assistant. Assistant, you already know, is someone who helps another person to do something. Virtual means I can't see you physically, right? But you're doing the work, even though I can't see you physically. So in that sense, I don't need to be in a physical location. I don't need to go to an office. I don't need to be in a building. I can do this task from behind my smartphone or my laptop for this person, and the work still gets done. So that is who a virtual assistant is. And the internet has opened up this pathway for us. You know, you wouldn't have imagined, maybe let's say even as far back as 8 years ago or 9 years ago, that somebody from Nigeria will be able to work for somebody from the USA in real time. It's something that probably wouldn't have come into your imagination, but that is what is happening. The internet has broken down the world, right? And we have essentially become one big happy family. Once you have your device, your internet, your data, you can be connected to any part of the world at any time of the day, right? Now, the virtual assistant space is becoming a very lucrative one because number one, is cost effective. Number two, it's easier for businesses, and instead of having a lot of staff in the organization doing nothing, they have someone who they can delegate and assign tasks to. Generally, it saves a lot of time and cost, and this is why a lot of business owners, a lot of executives are looking for virtual assistants, right? So the role of a virtual assistant depends on the needs of your client. Understand this, that there's no specific skill you need to know per se in order to call yourself a virtual assistant. Your virtual assistant identity comes from the kind of tasks you perform and for the kind of person that you are working with. So I can be a virtual assistant, you can be a virtual assistant. But if I'm supporting an online coach, for instance, who trains people online, who sells courses online, right? I'm going to call myself an online coach virtual assistant. This is just an example. If you're working for a fitness a person, a gym, you can call yourself a fitness virtual assistant. You support fitness coaches, something like that. Now, the difference is the kind of roles we're performing and the people we're performing these roles for. I just want you to know that, so that when you see virtual assistant, it doesn't mean that, oh, this is set in stone. These are the specific skills you must have before you can be tagged a virtual assistant. Your identity comes from the needs of your clients and the kind of roles that you perform. Now, generally, these are the common roles that virtual assistants perform, especially when you are talking about being an administrative assistant, an executive assistant, a personal assistant, right? These are some of the roles you will find that you would be doing commonly, okay? Managing emails, scheduling meetings and appointments, booking travel and managing itineraries, file organization and document management, creating and scheduling posts for social media platforms, engaging with followers, tracking analytics, researching trends, writing blog posts, proofreading, and a lot more. You can look at my slides and see the other things that I listed out there. Now, you wouldn't be doing all of this at the same time. You could be doing some for a particular client, doing another set for another client, doing a mix of all for a different client. So you can see that it's a very versatile space, right? So I think I have been able to explain who a virtual assistant is and what they do. Now, who can become a virtual assistant? The reason I love the virtual assistant space is that it is one of the easiest ways to break into remote work and freelancing, right? We know that there are a lot of other pathways. We have core tech, we have web design, we have coding, we have all of these complicated, tech fields. All of those areas, they are also good ways of stepping into the digital and the remote workspace, right? But virtual assistance is one that almost anybody can do as long as they apply themselves to it, right? So this is targeted to beginners. You can start from here and then expand into other core tech areas and grow in your career if you so desire, right? So this is like the entry point. This is like the entry point, right? So anyone at all with the right skills, the tools, and the willingness to work remotely can become a virtual assistant. I have a background in law. In fact, not a background in law. I am a lawyer called to the Nigerian bar for over, I think, about 15 years now. But I last practiced in 2017 when I had my baby. It is because of my baby that I stepped into remote work and freelancing. It's a very long story. I lost one of my children at that time, and story. But I'm not here to tell you my story, right? I'm just trying to tell you that anyone can become a virtual assistant. I have a background in law and I am working remotely, okay? All right, so let's look at the VA industry at a glance. Now, the VA industry is booming, and that's why I hear a lot of people saying, oh, the virtual assistant space is so saturated. Listen, wherever you see stiff competition, know that there are a lot of opportunities in that space. Get it? So wherever you see stiff competition, know that there are a lot of opportunities in that space. Let's look at something like selling hair online. You can see a lot of people are selling hair online, right? But tomorrow, a new set of people will still sell hair online. Why? And all of them are selling. Why? Because it is a lucrative space. People will continue to buy the hair. You understand? So you cannot, because somebody is selling, say, oh, I don't want to sell tomorrow. You would hear people say, hair vendors are everywhere. But the reason they're everywhere is because it's a lucrative space and the opportunities there are limitless. That's an example I'm giving you. So when somebody says the VA space is saturated, well, I would say to some degree, but I also say it's not so. Because after all, please tell me which area is not saturated. You understand? So look at the market size and the growth trends. The virtual assistant market is set to hit 2054, in fact, over $2,054 million by, $8,613 million by 2028. I mean, this is to tell you that this space is going to continue to expand and increase and expand and increase. The opportunities in this space are limitless. So I just went around the internet. I went to different platforms where we search for jobs and just took screenshots of some of the roles, executive assistant roles, some of the roles a virtual assistant can do. And you can see this one pays at least $1,500 per month. This one pays $60,000 per year. This one is at least $20 per hour at $70,000 per year. This one is $35 an hour, social media manager. And this one is $33,000 per year, social media manager and content creator. So you can see that they pay well, especially for those of us on this side of the globe, because by the time you are earning in foreign currency and spending in your local currency, you would see that it is a lot. Okay, so that is why I love the virtual assistant space. Now, can you also work as a virtual assistant for local companies? For instance, if you're Nigerian, can you work for Nigerian companies? Yes, you can, and they pay well too. These new tech companies, executives that know what's up, they pay well as well. So it's not even limited to foreign companies. You can also work for local companies. The thing is, you become a global employee, ready to work for anybody from anywhere. Okay? Now, another big question I get, and this is why I'm addressing it before I continue, is, are Nigerians getting these jobs? And these are just a few screenshots I took from my students who sent me reviews, testimonials, after I taught them, right? Now, this person, I got a job, and I just got another one. Same person, under 24 hours. So when people say there's no job, there's no job, I feel like you probably, I don't know, you haven't applied the right strategies, okay? This person didn't have a job for over a year after going through my class. But one of those days, I gave them an assignment. I said, look out for 50 executives at least, and I sent them a template. I said, customize this template, send it to them within 24 hours, because she did what I asked her to do. She got 2 jobs, right? Now, this is a stay-at-home mom who had no job at the time of taking my training, and now she can work from home and take care of her children, right? These are the things that give me joy, give me fulfillment, give me validation. That if one person can pick what I teach and run with it and have a review such as this, I'm good, I'm made. And this is exciting for me. These are other reviews also from my students. This one says she got a job she didn't even imagine. Say this, your training don't land me better job where I never still believe. You can imagine that. And even though it's a physical job, the training I gave to her helped her to land the job. This one got a fully remote job as a customer service representative. Okay. This one got a job $750 per month after 4 interview sessions. And see what she said, though. All the answers I have were solely from your teaching. After 4 sessions of interviews, I was offered the job. This one alone is enough for me for this year. Okay. Now, this one says, I got my offer letter last night and I was onboarded this morning. These are real people with real results. This one is $8 per hour. This one is $10 per hour. She was in my May cohort 2024 and she got a job May 2025. So 1 year after training. So I'm not about to teach you magic. I'm about to teach you something that will require your discipline, your commitment, and your time. And if you're not ready for it, please, this is the best time for you to drop out of this class. Don't continue. It's not for you. If you think you are coming to see, bring 10 naira to get 100 naira in under 12 minutes, this is not for you. If you think this is a Ponzi scheme, this is not for you. If you think this is something you just step in and you just get a job immediately, this is not for you. Full disclaimer. So if you do not have the discipline to stay consistent and to actually practice and apply what I'm going to be teaching you in the next 40 minutes, please drop out of this call now. All right, so if you're still here, it means you are ready to listen to what I'm going to be teaching you in the next few minutes. Now, these are just reviews from people who have gotten jobs as virtual assistants, executive assistant, administrative assistant, personal assistant. All of them come under the same umbrella. Forget the nomenclature. All right, so how can you become a virtual assistant? And it's only 4 things. 4 steps required, though. Simple, clear 4 steps. This one is not, there's no secret strategy. There's no secret anything. These are the steps. First thing, learn the skills and the software that you need. Number 2, prepare the documents necessary. Number 3, start applying for jobs. Number 4, set up on social media. It is not compulsory, but it is highly recommended. These are the 4 things that you should do, right? So number 1, learn the skill. Getting skills is not about money. It's not about money anymore. It's about your determination, because there are platforms everywhere that can help you with your learning journey for free. Some at very discounted rates, and will still give you professional certificates. So when people say, I can't pay for this, they are charging for this, it just shows a level of unseriousness, because if you are truly desirous of information, there is information out there. Especially when you know you don't have the funds to pay for a structured training, please go and look at these platforms. There's YouTube, yes, that same YouTube where you're watching African knowledge. You can learn skills on the platform. Now, there, of course, is going to be a lot. You have to sift through thousands of videos to get something. But if you do not have money, you need to have time. So you need to go through and see and pick the videos that will help you. Number 2 is Hopspot Academy. Number 3 is Google for Africa. Number 4, Allison. Number 5, Coursera. Number 6, Udemy. Now, Udemy, you pay for the courses on Udemy, but they are highly discounted. In fact, they run promos almost all the time, and you can get courses for as low as 4,000 naira, 5,000 naira, 7,000, 10,000 naira. Okay? Now, these are just few of the many platforms that you can check out. So you can go to these platforms and check them out, okay? Let me show you just sample, let me show you what Hopspot Academy looks like and what Google looks like in a moment. All right, so this is Hopspot Academy. You can just go to your Google browser and type in Hopspot Academy, academy.hopspot.com/courses. You're going to see the courses that this platform offers. Marketing, social media management, content marketing, social media marketing, content marketing. Look at them. And they have a long list. You can continue to browse to see all the other courses. And you can get these courses for free. Just sign up for free courses. And Hopspot Academy gives you a certificate after you have learned. Completely free and online. Okay, then we have Google Digital Skills. Look at it here. Google Digital Garage, Google Skills for Africa. In fact, Google just has a lot that they can offer, right? So you can come here as well. Just go to your browser and search. Go to your browser and you should see something like this. Let me zoom this screen just a little more. Right, so this is what you will see. You can search for different topics here. You can scroll down and you're going to see different courses: fundamentals of digital marketing, business security, basics of code, make more customers find your business, communication, connect with customers to understand. You can search for a lot. Google Skills for Africa, Google Digital Skills, Skill Shop, whatever it is, just search on Google and you're going to see them, right? You can take courses on this platform and get certified. There's Allison, like I said, there's Coursera, and there are other platforms like that. So we have established that anyone can acquire these simple digital skills. It doesn't matter your field. Whether you're a doctor, an accountant, you haven't even gone to the university, you are just finishing from secondary school, whatever it is, you can learn these basic digital skills. It does not require long learning periods. You know, contrast that with your traditional schooling. If you're studying law, you are talking about 5 years plus 1 year law school. If you're studying medicine, you know how long that takes. If you're studying core tech fields, you know how long that takes too, right? But for this one, virtual assistant, digital skills, basic digital skills like this, you only need 3 months to 6 months, depending on how consistent and committed you are, depending on how much time you can give. So it doesn't require long learning periods, but you need to actually commit to learning the skills. There's no shortcut, right? Okay, let's go on. Now, your next step is to create a portfolio. I call a portfolio a CV in action. It is a collection of your work samples that will show the projects that you have worked on. I know that now I have mentioned projects you have worked on. Your brain is telling you, but I haven't done anything as a virtual assistant. I haven't worked as a virtual assistant. I haven't done any tasks. How then can I have a portfolio? I'm going to answer that shortly. Now, how do you create a portfolio? We have free platforms that you can start with. Canva is one of my favorites for beginners. Canva. Open a free Canva account, canva.com. Open an account. Type in the search bar, portfolio templates, and you are going to see a ton of free portfolio templates that you can customize and publish even as a website or download as a PDF, and you will have a portfolio. You can use Google Docs. You can use Wix. It's a free website platform. You can use clippings.me. You can even use Google Drive, basic Google Drive. Do you know how to use Google Drive? Okay, these are some of the things that we teach in our virtual assistant program. Okay, now, how do you create a portfolio if you have not worked at all? I put in 2 internship platforms that you can check out: Media Trust and Volunteer Match. So you can go to your browser and check for Media Trust and Volunteer Match. You will see internship opportunities. You can apply to these internships. Okay, you keep applying because you can't just apply for one and relax. You keep applying, and if you get these roles, they can make up part of your portfolio. The second thing you can do, which is my most important, is to employ yourself. You are not small. Employ yourself. Do the work for yourself. Now, let's say you want to be an administrative assistant for a founder, a business owner, or an executive. Go to any job platform around. Search virtual assistant, executive assistant. See what the employer said they are looking for. We need somebody who can do this, who can manage calendars, who can create travel plan, who can do this. Go and create mock projects of that for yourself and put them together into a portfolio. It's not until you get the job. Just look at the requirements of employee. Look at 1, 2, 3 job openings, job descriptions, and see the things that are common in those job descriptions for the specific role you are looking for. Go and work on them on your own. Do a mock task and then put them together as your portfolio. The next thing you can do is to work for free. Reach out to someone who you know probably has a small business, something. Just tell them, see, I want to be able to do this for you. And I will do it for you for a period of 1 month for free. I won't be charging you anything. Now, that can form part of your portfolio, right? So there's always a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. You understand? So I'm going to show you just what my, one of my portfolios looks like so that you can see what I mean by a portfolio, okay? All right, so this is what one of my portfolios looks like. Forget this picture. I just quickly put it for the purpose of this class. This is not the picture that is on the portfolio that I'm sharing with clients right now, right? So I just put it here just to tell you that you can put a picture, a professional headshot of yourself here. So look at what my portfolio looks like, and I created it on Canva, right? So let me just scroll down quickly so that you can see. I just put in about me. I put in some screenshots of the things that I've done, right? And then I went just putting in all of the things I have done, sample projects. Some of them I did for myself, some I did for clients, and you can see that's it. That's what my portfolio looks like, okay? So you can create a portfolio for yourself as well. The next thing you want to do is to craft a resume and a cover letter. Now, all of these documents you are preparing, you are just keeping them templates for yourself so that each time you see a job post, you can customize them, okay? Now, your portfolio, you have made it. Your resume, you're working on it. Your cover letter, you're working on it. You just keep them. Sometimes when you're applying for jobs, they will ask you for portfolio, resume, and cover letter. Sometimes just a resume, sometimes just a portfolio. So you just need to have these documents prepared so that whatever one they ask you for, you will be able to submit, right? Now, what are the tips for writing a sound resume? Number 1, always tailor your resume to your job description. I can't go into details of this, right? But it is important to always tailor your resume to the job description. You can't be sending in your resume for carpentry when you are applying for an electrician job. That's what I mean. So when you read a job description, go back and look at your resume and adjust your resume to fit what the person is actually looking for. Because you might be an excellent person, but because you haven't sold yourself to be the ideal candidate for that role, you're not going to get it. Okay? Number 2, your resume should have your contact details. When I say contact details, I'm talking about your email, your professional sounding email, not blueberryloverboy228 at gmail.com. A professional sounding email. Open a Gmail account. Have a LinkedIn profile. Very, very important. Before I would have said, it's okay whether you have a LinkedIn profile or not. But if you are starting out and you are looking for professional connections, please, LinkedIn is very, very important too. You understand, okay? Then for your address, your city and country are sufficient when your location is important. But if they are not important, you might leave out your city and your country. You understand? You might just leave those out. Okay, then you want to list out your skills, both your soft and technical skills. Soft skills are the skills that make you a good person, an ideal person to work with. Technical skills are the skills that you have that show that you know how to do this job. You can use the tools for this job. You know how to handle the software for this job, right? Soft skills on the other side are like you pay attention to details, things like that make you an ideal human being. Okay, not necessarily a perfect candidate for the role. Right? So you want to have a balance, a mix of the two. Now, you want to include experience as it relates to the job posting. So if you don't have experience, I've already mentioned this, work for yourself, do some of these tasks for yourself or offer your services for free to others so that you can gain some experience. Add certifications that are related to that job description. I've shown you platforms where you can go and learn skills and get certified. So you can, if you have those certifications, you can add them to your resume, right? Let's continue. Right, so that's all for a resume. I want to say something before we move on to cover letter, right? Your resumes most time pass through what we call an applicant tracking system. I don't know too much about applicant tracking systems, but I know that they're like artificial intelligence tools that will scan your resumes before they push them to a human to evaluate. You understand? So AI, they don't have emotions to say, oh, this person is good for this job, but they didn't really say it very well. A human being can look at your resume and be like, this person has the experience, but didn't, really, say it properly in a way that will make this person an ideal person for this job. But I think I can give this person a chance. But AI, they don't have those kinds of emotions. They already set, if this resume doesn't meet this standard, discard it, trash it. So you want to make sure that your resume is ATS compliant. Okay. Now let me show you a copy of my former resume and just show you the structure so that you can understand what I mean by ATS compliant, right? All right, so this is my resume. I have a lot of experience. If I have experience, a lot. So that is why my resume is up to 2 pages. I try to compress everything into 2 pages. But if you're just starting out, 1-page resume is okay. At most 2 pages, right? If you have a lot of experience, maybe you can extend into 3, but that would be, treading on dangerous terrain, okay? So this is it, my name, the title. I have different resumes for different job posts job openings I want to apply for because I have a lot of experience. Okay, so this is it. Let your resume be structured simply like this: summary, your experience, okay, and then your certifications and all of that. Structure simply like this. Please don't go and get resumes that have blocks, colors, columns, things like that. Those are things that the ATS, the applicant tracking system, might not be able to read. And even though it might be the best for the job, your resume gets trashed even before it has a chance to be seen by a human. So that is what I mean by ATS compliance. You can go on and do more research about writing ATS compliant resumes. I hope this is clear. So similar rules apply for your cover letter as well. Make sure it is professional and straight to the point. Don't tell irrelevant stories. If you know the recruiter or the person who made the advertisement for that job, address them personally rather than using generic things like to whom it may concern or dear ma or sir, right? It shows, it shows this disconnect from your job application. So if you see the company, if you see the person who advertised, address them directly. Tailor it to the position you are applying to and highlight your skills and achievements in that regard. Then, if it's a remote role, you want to emphasize that you understand how to work remotely because a lot of people don't. They are skilled in their fields, they have the experience, but they do not know how to, export those skills globally. They can't work remotely. They can't set up Zoom calls. They can't collaborate on documents. They can't set up virtual presentations, things like that. So you want to, infuse it into your resume or your cover letter that you know how to work remotely. Maybe you have worked with a global team to deliver on a project. You have worked for a client who was not in your immediate location, something like that, just so that you are sold as someone. They don't need to start teaching you. That's what I mean. Okay, so now you have your portfolio, you have your resume, you have your cover letter ready. What are you going to be doing next? You want to start applying for jobs. There's no two ways about it. You have to apply for jobs. And there are a lot of ways you can do this. And I'm going to be sharing with you some of the strategies that myself and my students have used over time. Okay. The first one, which is the most important for me, is to build your brand online. In this day and age, stories, what you are learning, the things you're doing, where somebody can look at and know that this person is actually a real person who is working on themselves and actually doing something. You understand? So you need to build your brand. Like I said, my favorite platform for professionals looking for jobs, professional connections, things like that is LinkedIn. Now you can decide, okay, you want to stay on Facebook, that's fine. You can still get jobs on Facebook, Instagram, whatever social media platform that is okay for you, that you can be consistent with, that fits your personality. please be on that platform. All right, but make sure you have some kind of digital footprint. Okay. Number 2, scan your current network and explore your surroundings. I have a student who got a job from her contacts, an old schoolmate. That job pays 550,000 naira per month. She's a mother of 4. All right. So she got that job. That's from any 50,000 naira to 550,000 naira per month. So you can see the power of digital skills, right? So scan your current networks, explore your surroundings. Are there businesses around you who you can go and pitch some of these services to? Some businesses don't know that they can be online. Some don't know how to use Zoom, all these digital tools to do things, so you can go, when you acquire these skills, you can go pitch the businesses around you, and who knows, you could get lucky. The third one, which is one of the most popular things or the common things people do, is to go to freelance sites such as Upwork and Fiverr. They have jobs. It's very competitive. The competition there is stiff, but people are still successful with these platforms. So you can set up on these sites as well. And who knows, if you do the right things, apply the right strategy with a pinch of patience, you can be lucky, right? The next one is to go to job boards that list remote job openings, like simplyhire.com, weworkremotely.com, workingnomads.com, dynamitejobs.com, remote.co, nodesk.co, right? You can go to these platforms. Another thing is to go to company website career pages. So if you are browsing, this is what I do a lot. If I'm browsing websites and the company looks like a company that aligns with what I can do, I go to their career page and go and see if they have current openings. And if they don't have, many of them have opportunity for you to put in your email to get notified when they have openings. And I always put my email there. I have a dedicated email which I open for job opportunities. So it doesn't clutter my main inbox, right? So I have an email separate for that. So you can do the same thing. Another thing that you can do is to search for startup companies and apply to them directly. The two platforms I love for this are Well-Found and Y Combinator. On these platforms, you are going to see startups in different areas, in tech, fintech, health tech, edutech. You can reach out to them. Go there, search for the names of the executives there. Search for the company, go and look for them on LinkedIn and pitch your services to them. If you can write content for them, tell them I can be a content writer on your team. If you can be an executive assistant, tell them you can help them to save hours and take care of all the mundane tasks for them. You go and pitch them. One of the reasons I like startups is that they are relatively new and they are ready to pay you. Many of them don't want to pay outrageous sums like that. They can pay you that $1,000. They can pay you that $1,500. They can even pay you $500 for a start. So, and it's also easier to get their attention, okay? So these are some of the things that you can do. Now, the next thing is to have an active online presence. I've already said this. Select a social media platform and share content around what you do. You can get clients from there. I've already mentioned that my personal favorite is LinkedIn. Then another strategy that works if you know how to do it is to send cold emails and pitch your services. When we say cold emails, cold is like this person hasn't met you before. They don't know you. You are just showing up in their inbox or in their DMs. They have no relationship with you before. It's cold emails. If you do it wrongly, they are going to just block you. But if you understand the strategy for cold emails and you pitch your services correctly, you could get lucky and get a result. Results. People who know how to do this properly are getting jobs every day from this, right? Then the next thing you can do is to use ATS websites such as ATS. Remember, I talked about ATS applicant tracking systems such as Bamboo HR, Breezy HR, Workable, Ash by HQ, etc. Now you can go to your browser and just type in ATS websites, and you're going to see a list of them. ATS websites, they are run by companies. Okay, let's say a company wants to employ and they don't want to go through the hassle of asking for resume. They will push it to an ATS platform. The ATS platform will advertise the job, will collect resumes, will screen resumes before pushing their qualified resumes to a human to verify. You understand? Now, those jobs in those platforms, you cannot just find them on Google if you search. You can't just find them on LinkedIn if you search. You see this code that I'm using is the code that will help you for those jobs that are hidden to come out. Don't even bother about the meaning of this. Just copy the way you're seeing it like this now. Sites, you put in this colon, you put in the URL of the ATS. So let's say today you want to search for virtual assistant jobs on Bamboo HR. You get their website address, their correct website address, and put it here. Then you put the job title you're searching for and the location. In our case, we're looking for remote jobs. But if you're looking for a job in New York, in London, a specific location, you put it here. All right. Now, this, I'm going to show you an example with this one. You see, I want to search this ATS website now, workable.com, for remote virtual assistant roles. I follow this formula here. Sites, I put in the colon, I put in the URL of Workable, which is workable.com, and I put in virtual assistant, which is the role I'm looking for, and I put in remote, which is the location that I'm looking for. I'm just going to copy this and paste on my browser so that you will see the results that I'm going to get. Now, to understand this further, if this basic explanation I've given is not enough for you, go and read ATS website and Boolean search. Go and see how it works, right? So let me show you some of this. Let me just show you this thing I just mentioned. Let me show you the results it will get you. All right, so this is one of the sites I mentioned, workingnomads.com. You can search it, look at it. You see the different jobs here, remote jobs. You can just tap on. You can also see companies, and you can even pitch these companies directly. You understand? So you can come in here and search. Another platform I like is Simply Hired. So this is simplyhired.com. Let's give it some time to load. This is simplyhire.com. You can search for jobs on this platform. Just come in here, put in your job title, what you are looking for, even your skills, and search for remote, and then search for jobs. You see different jobs, content writing, executive assistant, social media management. You can see them on Simply Hired, right? All right, so let's look at this one. You remember that code I copied, sites and workable.com and all of that? That is this one. And you can see the results I got. Virtual assistant, remote executive assistant, virtual assistant, fully remote. All the virtual assistant roles that are on workable.com. Now you can do this for all the ATS websites that you have. So you can change this workable.com and put in another one, maybe breezyhr.com, maybe ashbyhq.com, and you are going to see the different virtual assistant roles in that ATS platform. Do you see how it works now? So you can try it. You can go now and try it. Just copy that code. Don't bother about trying to explain the coding or the logic behind that system. Just do it like I've told you to do. All right? So let's continue. Okay. So far, I have shared with you the 4 steps you need to get started as a virtual assistant. All right? Very simple. But the question is, are you going to actually take those 4 steps? Because it sounds so simple, but the actual execution is not easy. It's not simple at all. Right? Now, to recap what I've said, you can leverage simple digital skills to create an income stream for yourself. The process can be summarized in the following steps. Number 1, get the required skills or brush up on existing skills. Number 2, prepare a portfolio to prove that you can deliver on the skill. Number 3, get your documents ready. Number 4, start applying for jobs. Now, it's very important to understand that this is not a get-rich-quick process, and I'm not even looking for people who are not ready to work, because it requires a lot of work, right? You're going to get a lot of rejections. This is normal. Like, you need to make peace with it on time. You're going to get a lot of rejections. But one, yes, just one will open your eyes and you'll be like, is this how sweet this thing is, right? So you need to have the right mindset before going into this, okay? All right. Now, I know you got a lot of value from this short training. Many minutes I have spoken for, but I think it's about 30-40 minutes already. Now, if you got value for this webinar, which is for free, you would absolutely love my virtual assistant program. It's a 6-week program where I take you step by step, especially if you are starting out in the virtual assistant space, right? So we run 6 cohorts every year. And so far, we have done the January cohort, the March cohort, the May cohort, and the July cohort. This is 2025, right? Right now, We only have the September and the November cohort to go, and it will be a wrap for this year. All right. So at the end of this 6 weeks program, this is a promise I always make. You will become a confident virtual assistant. And if not, you are entitled to a refund of whatever it is that you paid for this class, which is insignificant compared to the value that you are going to be getting. Let me show you what is contained in the class. This is just a breakdown, summary of the modules. They contain a lot more meat underneath, right? So introduction to virtual assistants, communication and professionalism, time management and productivity, calendar management, email management, travel and meeting management, file management and filing systems, social media and content creation for executives, project and task management, right? You're going to learn the different tools that you need to know as a virtual assistant, whether you want to support executives, founders, small business owners. You are going to be taught the tools that they ordinarily expect you to know. You know, you can't go and tell them that I don't know how to do this thing. There are basic tools you need to know. And those tools we're going to be teaching you: productivity tools, communication and collaboration tools, file and document management tools, customer relationship management tools, design and presentation tools, artificial intelligence tools. You are also going to learn how to launch your career as a virtual assistant that wants to move into the remote workspace or into the freelancing space. You are going to be taught how to build your portfolio, how to create your resume. We're going to teach you how to use platforms like Upwork and how to find clients, including the code pitching strategy I talked about. You're going to be taught how to use Upwork and LinkedIn effectively. Now, you're also going to be given tasks for each week. And these tasks are very similar to real-world tasks so that you can have a solid portfolio at the end of the training. You also have a certificate of completion. The good thing is I'm not the only one handling this. I'm bringing expert coaches to handle different parts of this training. All right. So it's a very rich 6-week training. Right? So let me answer some of your questions. What kind of job roles can I apply for after this class? You can apply for virtual assistant, executive assistant, social media manager, administrative support specialist, project coordinator, tax manager, social media content creator, office manager, productivity and operations specialist. These are just some of the roles that you can fit into with the skills that you will gain from the virtual assistant program. Now, these are some of the questions that I get a lot across all the cohorts. I think we have done about 16 cohorts so far. Across all of these cohorts, these are some of the questions that I get frequently. Number one, will I get a job immediately? I think I've already answered this. I don't know. I have students who have gotten jobs within 1 month, some 2, some 3, some 6 months, some 1 year, some 2 years. So I cannot tell you that because I cannot guarantee that. I don't know how much time you're going to put into studying. I don't know how dedicated you're going to be. You might be doing this course alongside another thing, and you know your time frame will be a bit delayed. So I can't tell you that you get a job immediately. I can only tell you that my training will increase your chances of getting a job. Can I use a phone to work? When I started teaching, I would say, okay, yeah, you can try with a phone. But as someone who has worked with different international clients, and currently I have 2 virtual assistants working with me, a laptop is always best. You can start with a phone, but you need to have the mindset that you're going to get a laptop. So when somebody says, can we do it with a phone? And they are asking not because they don't have a laptop or they don't have the funds to get a laptop. They're like, I just feel like not being serious. How do you want to handle spreadsheets, documents for an international client? Why should they employ you when you're only working with a phone? Yes, start with a phone, but by all means, plan for a laptop. So another question is, if I join your class, will you give me a job? No, I don't give out jobs, but I get requests almost every time for executive assistants, virtual assistants. And in the last month, I think I've already placed up to 3 people or so in jobs, right? But I cannot guarantee and say, once you join my class, I'll give you a job. I can't guarantee that. I work with, as executives send me requests, I then send them out to my students. The class lasts for 6 weeks, okay? And it's a combination of, please listen very carefully, please, so that you understand the structure of the class, of pre-recorded videos and live classes. So my videos, I try to compress them into 30 minutes each so that it doesn't get overwhelming for you. You can just select 1 30 minutes in your day to watch one video. Okay, and then my live classes happen typically on Saturdays by 8 p.m. Except the coach teaching for that day says, I won't be available by this time. Can we adjust the time? Then we're going to adjust the time because we work with the coach's availability, right? The class is starting, the next cohort is in September, and another cohort after that will be in November. September, November. Those are the two cohorts that we have left for 2025. The class is not free because, funny enough, I get this question. I have put in a lot into preparing those videos. I have, paid for coaches to come on board with me, to join you, to teach you, and to give you the tools that you need to succeed in this journey. Is getting a job guaranteed? No. I'm not techie, can I do this? This virtual assistant is for those that are not techie like me, right? I'm not a techie person, but I have learned how to use tech to do my work. But to say that I will do something like coding Python, I don't get help for those kind of things. But who knows, maybe tomorrow. But for now, I'm not techie. I have only learned how to leverage digital tools, software to be able to do my work. And that is why I'm saying that anyone can do this, including you, even if you don't have any solid experience with tech. All right, so these are reviews that I have gotten about this class. I have already shown you reviews from my students who have gotten jobs already. This one says, she's the best. With the help of God, I've been able to get a remote job and got my first pay in dollars last week. This is something I love to read reviews like this. Okay, this one says, you can see what she was responding to. I have zero regret for being a part of your training. This one says, I learned so much. I just got my first placement as a tutor on an international platform. I got accepted on, and the only reason why I got that placement was because I took your course. You opened my eyes to the opportunity around me, right? This one says, I haven't seen you before. It was awesome with you here these weeks. Your teaching method is the best. You explain everything in details. Your voice is so calm, right? And this one says, I have been in some platforms, but I haven't gotten as much value as I'm getting from you. You're a great coach. You have patience and much value to offer. I'm blushing. This one says, I don't regret subscribing for this because beyond landing jobs, I can run my handles more professionally and in a more organized form. So these are reviews from students who have gone through my training. Now, you have seen all the things you are going to gain from this 6-week program, right? And I could be very easily charging 100,000 naira because of the value. I mean, if I charge 100,000 naira, I would be justified because of how rich the curriculum is. But because I want this to reach as many people as possible and give them the opportunity that I got in when I started my own, exploring the digital space in 2018, you are going to pay only 35,000 naira, which I consider a commitment fee, just to say I will take this 6-week training seriously, because I've discovered that when you don't pay for something, you don't give it the attention that it deserves. But when you pay, it will pain you and you will want to complete it and see the end of it, right? So the cost of the training is 35,000 naira. And this fee is going to be increased by the time we go into the new year, right? So it's going to be 35,000 naira. So that's all you need to pay for this 6-week training, right? And to lock down your spot, simply pay 35,000 naira to this account showing on your screen right now. 203-537-3487, Remanda Enterprises, First Bank. Please send your proof of payment to this email. It's very important. bizwithremanda@gmail.com. This is the only way we would know that you have paid, and we'll be able to match your proof of payment to your payment. Please don't just pay and assume that somehow it's the spirit will minister to us that you have paid for the training. Send your proof of payment to this email address. It's very important. Like I said, we have 2 cohorts left to go for 2025. All right, September and November, right? So lock down your spot, 35,000 naira to the account on your screen, and we will send you the details of the class. All right, so the next cohort is in September. Afterwards, we're going to have a November cohort, but the earlier you join, the better, right? So thank you so much for joining me on this training. I can't wait to see you in class. Have an amazing day, everyone. God bless you.